Hello, friends! If you're fans of the animal survival genres, you've definitely heard of the big three: The Isle, Beast of Bermuda, and Path of Titans. One way or another, you can buy all of them right now. The Isle and Beast of Bermuda are both available on Steam, and Path of Titans has its own thing going on. And there are a couple other games like Animalia Survival and Draconia that have Steam pages, but you can't actually buy them on Early Access on Steam yet. You need to jump through a couple hoops on their Discords to get those. And I'll actually have all the Discords for all the games in this video down in the description below. But this video isn't about those 5 games. This video is about Idols, Wake of Pandora, and Blue Echoes. All 3 are animal survival games that are in pre-alpha, so you're not going to find them on Steam. And I'm going to tell you why I think you should be following them. But before we get going, if you could give this video a like and hit the subscribe button, you'll not only be helping my new channel, you'll also be helping this video to get found in the algorithm, which means even more people will find out about these great new games. And after you get done watching the video, leave a comment down below. I'd really love to hear which of these 3 games you're most excited for. And let's get started with Idols. Let me start by saying that the footage you're watching is from a very early pre-alpha, so you're going to see some kind of weirdness as I'm talking. That's just the state of being in a pre-alpha. And one of the first things you're going to notice is this thing ain't a dinosaur. This thing isn't like anything we have on Earth. The story for Idols has been a little bit vague from the devs, but that's because they want to kind of reveal it as the game goes on. All we really know so far is that some sort of entity seems to be making a type of witch's brew, I guess you could say, with actual DNA and mythological references, which results in some very unique player characters. For example, we have the thing I'm playing around with in this video, a Vendigo. And the plan is for these guys to have hallucinogenic attacks, so it'll be really interesting to see how the developers decide to implement that in the game. Their goal is to have 3 playable species available by the time the game is ready to launch on Steam. The second playable is going to be the Maulwing, which looks like a nice tranquil creature until it opens its mouth, which happens to be its entire neck. And like every creature in Idols, including the Vendigo, it can develop the ability to fly. Speaking of flying, the third creature is my personal favorite, the one I'm most excited for, the Mantis Fin, a freaking sky whale. Which can apparently develop the ability to shoot frickin' laser beams. And the developers of Idols have some interesting plans to take the game in some very different directions from other animal survival games. For example, your health isn't a UI element. Instead, how brightly the tendrils on your body glow shows you how healthy you are at the moment. And what you eat will determine your coloration and your abilities. The creatures in this game are very unique and alien looking. The developers have said that they're going for a mix of James Cameron's Avatar and the Berserk anime/manga, which is very apparent once you get into the interesting AI designs, like this guy who flips his head over to look both ways, and this creature, which is an homage to the Berserk manga. And then you get this, the Nightmare Hag. Definitely leaning more towards the Berserk side of the character design. So yeah, Idols is looking pretty crazy and definitely very different from all the other games in the genre. That's why I think it's very much worth checking out. Next is Wake of Pandora. This game is more like the dinosaur games we're used to, except not really. You see, all of the dinosaurs in this game are science experiments gone wrong, where mankind lacked what was necessary to bring back the dinosaurs, so they started mixing them with other types of modern day creatures to create hybrids and abominations, which ended up, to my understanding, leading to the destruction of mankind. But we get to play as those monsters, so it's all good. For example, this little cutie here is a mix of Coelophysis and a turkey vulture. And that combination has given it the ability to spit acid. As you play this game, you don't just pick a creature and go, like you do with most other animal survival games. In this case, you actually pick a class. So something either tanky or stealthy or high damage. And you actually evolve your way up this class, giving you access to bigger and more specialized creatures. The 4 classes are the Inexorable, the tank and melee DPS, which is focused on getting into the combat but has low mobility. The Dread, which is very high mobility and very stealthy and sneaky and more focused on wearing away the opponent, but low survivability. The Reticent, which is all about the long range attacks and can't survive at all in close combat, but they have higher resource pools so they can use their abilities more often. And the 4th class is the Survivalist, which is kind of a generalist class. It's going to be good at just, well, surviving, but isn't going to be as specialized as any of the others. They've got a bunch of the creatures they're working on the Discord, and we can kind of check them out. Like, for example, this guy, the Hollowbeak, is our turkey vulture friend. The Nettletail here is a mix of Heterodontosaurus and Platypus, which makes it venomous and has the ability to hold its breath for a long time. And here's its work in progress 3D model. And this is the guy that I'm excited about, the Ripjaw, which is a mix of Tetraceratops and Moray eel, giving it the ability to have shredding jaws and slimy skin. And you may be wondering what makes its jaws any more dangerous than any other carnivore, why it has special shredding jaws. Well, let's zoom in. It's because it has double jaws. Look at that. Oh, that's so terrifying. I love it. Wake of Pandora also sets itself apart with its unique setting. It's very much post-apocalyptic. Including sewers, and there's also plenty of areas outside the city, rural areas, and my personal favorite, the marshlands. So yeah, that's why I'd recommend following Wake of Pandora. It's a very unique game with an interesting evolution mechanic and a very cool post-apocalyptic setting. And finally, we have Blue Echoes. I'm a huge fan of underwater and aquatic gameplay. Like, in Beast of Bermuda, I love playing as a Mosa. I love Subnautica. So, when I found out about this game, I got super excited. The plan is to have saltwater creatures, freshwater creatures, semi-aquatic creatures, all the different water-themed and water-oriented creatures you could want. And they're all living on or around this island. Unfortunately, there's no underwater zones to show at the moment because the devs just recently got a hold of some new technology, so they're going to use that to completely redo all their underwater areas. So anything I showed would just be outdated anyway. But their surface waves are looking mighty fine. Plus, Blue Echoes just has a really impressive roster of aquatic creatures that they're working on. For Demo Part 1, they're planning on the Big Eye Fish Lizard, which I'd never heard of, a False Killer Whale, a Ginsu Shark, the Green Sea Turtle, and an Orca, as well as sardines as an AI critter. And the stuff that they're working on for the second wave to be added to their demo is going to be the California sea lion, bottlenose dolphin, great white shark, humpback whale, mako shark, and swordfish, as well as some more AI fish for you to snack on too. All in all, they're planning for a little over 20 different playable aquatic and semi-aquatic creatures, so definitely ambitious. And wait, that's not all. They've also got a bunch of subspecies planned for a bunch of these aquatic creatures, so that'll be interesting too. And with all these different aquatic and semi-aquatic creatures, you might be thinking, well, how are the freshwaters and the saltwaters going to mix? That's the thing. They're not supposed to. This game is actually implementing salinity and depth pressure and all the stuff that should be implemented in an ocean-themed game like this. So that's really cool too. And Blue Echoes is also post-apocalyptic, with humans screwing things up, which explains how there's a couple prehistoric aquatic creatures also swimming around in these waters. And there we go. 3 animal survival games that are all in pre-alpha, so you won't find any of these on Steam for a while yet. But, like I mentioned before, I am going to have all of their Discords down in the description below, so make sure you check those out so you can jump on these games and follow along with everything that they're working on. And if you watched all the way to the end of this video, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And like I said before, if you could give this video a like and hit the subscribe button, that'll not just help my new channel get going, but it'll also help these games to get discovered through this video. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.